Hello, friends. Before we go deeper into this video, may I ask you to please subscribe to my channel and to like this video, to share it, to leave your comments. All these things mean a lot, and thank you in advance for that. Today, I want to discuss meditation and prayer. I want to discuss what meditation and prayer is for me. Many years ago, when I had just begun my spiritual journey, one of my mentors mentioned a very profound statement, actually two statements. He said, every act is an act of prayer, and every act can be made into an act of prayer. At that time, I didn't quite understand or appreciate the depth, the significance, the beautiful truth of these statements. But as the years went by, I began living the truth of these statements without real or any conscious effort. These two statements so impacted me that automatically, without my awareness, I truly began living a life where meditation and prayer were based upon these two statements. And today I wish to talk to you about that, about what does meditation and prayer mean for me? How do we pray? What do we pray? And who are we praying to? If we do not know the answers to these three questions, our efforts at prayer are only half-hearted. They are without focus, without consciousness. There are those who believe in an external God, someone who is out there, up there, who is looking after them, who is punishing them, who is, in a sense, monitoring every move of theirs. Then there are those who believe that there is no such thing as God. We call them atheists. They do not believe that there is anything beyond our material existence. And then there are those, and I fall into this category, who believe in higher powers, in higher energies, but we do not believe that there is one higher being called God. This third category believes that the God lies within, that all of us are divine beings, that we are all, to use a very common saying, that we are all spiritual beings, that we are all divine beings having a human experience. And I base my life upon that. My interactions with people are based upon that we are all divine beings having a human experience. So for me, meditation has primarily been about my actions. For me, I attempt to live a life where every action of mine is a meditation. And I will go on to explain what I mean by this. I also don't ascribe to the aspect of asking for something, begging for something, sometimes even bribing. I will do this, I will give you this, I will give up this if you do this for me. So it's this whole asking, begging, pleading with, bribing, this so-called being, and then calling that a prayer. For me, prayer comprises of just two very simple words. But these two words have truly changed my life. And these two words, which are my prayer, are thank you. Thank you for everything. Thank you for all the experiences, even the unhappy ones. Because there is so much that I learn from them. I grow through them. I am thankful for those who have not been very kind to me, who have sometimes, in fact, gone out of their way to be unkind. But I am still saying thank you because through them I have learned how not to act. I have been able to look at myself and been able to see all my flaws and deficiencies. And so I say thank you even to those persons. So you see, meditation and prayer for me is not about saying words that come from a book or someone has taught me. Meditation for me is not about spending several minutes of a day doing some breath work or doing some exercises. Yes, I do my breath work. I do my practice of inner silence. But that is part of a 24-hour meditation. That is not the meditation that I do in the day. So I'd like to explain this a little clearer to you. So what do I mean when I say that my actions are my meditation? For me, any action that is entirely detached from the result of the action is a meditation. For me, if I am doing an action because I want something out of it at the end of it, then for me, that is not my meditation. So I strive in the day to be in meditation through all my actions. Has this been easy? Is it easy? No. But I still endeavor every day through all my actions. Those actions that I call meditation come from a space of very deep self-respect, come from a space of self-honor, come from a space of experiencing my inner strength, my divine strength. And they also include a very deep respect for the activity itself. And when there is a deep respect for the action that you are performing, no action becomes drudgery or hard work or a burden. It becomes something that you put your heart and mind and soul into. And when you're in that space, that action automatically becomes a meditation. In that space of meditation, you are not ruled by old karmic patterns, and you are not creating further karmic patterns. Let me give you an example. If you're performing an action of, let us say, taking care of someone in your family who is sick, and the responsibility as the primary caregiver has fallen upon you, but you perform that action with resentment, with a feeling of all these nasty people are just leaving it all to me. You perform that action with less than full compassion and kindness. You are either performing that action from past habitual karmic patterns, or you're creating further karmic patterns, or maybe both. When an action becomes a meditation, there is no other motive for the action but the action itself. So you are committing yourself in that moment to the fullness of the action, but you're also committing yourself to uncovering the fullness of your potential in that moment through that action. Then such an action is not performed because God will be happy, because XYZ will be happy, because someone will say good things about me. None of these selfish agendas come into play at all. The action is performed, the activity is undertaken because it brings you an inner satisfaction, an inner fulfillment, an inner happiness. Does that sound selfish to you? Does it seem as though I am advocating that you live your life lacking all consideration for others? Because if you are hearing it in that way, I do ask you to listen to the difference between selfishness and an action that is a meditation. Selfishness is a complete lack of consideration for others. It is a single-minded focus upon personal material advantage, even at the cost of another's well-being or another's welfare. But when an action is a meditation, the inner being is in such complete harmony with the action itself, with the environment in which the action is performed, with the person who you may be performing the action for. Such complete harmony that the sense of oneness with everything is complete. And it is not something that you have to make effort for. That sense of oneness becomes the natural outcome. In fact, the lovely thing about such an action is that a selfish focus upon a goal ceases to exist. So even if, for example, let us say you are doing whatever you need to better yourself in order to get that promotion, it doesn't become a selfish goal. When the action is truly a meditation, you will involve others in the growth process. You will share your knowledge with them. You will be happy for what they receive, just as you will be thrilled with what you receive. So selfish goals absolutely cease to exist. And motives like, let me do this, it will bring me money. Let me do this, it will bring me fame. Let me do this, it will bring me the relationship that I want. Let me do this because then God will be happy with me. I shall spiritually be enriched. All these motives, which in the final analysis are selfish motives, they all cease as well. There is no other motive for any action except the action itself, uncovering your divine potential in that moment through that action, and discovering the deep sense of self-honor that comes from attaining such an action. And such actions bring you so much happiness. And this happiness is not only limited to yourself. It doesn't exclude others. In fact, the happiness of your inner being overflows, and like a stream, it flows into the lives of others. And where there might be aridness in someone's life, it brings freshness and it brings life to them. And this happiness is not centered around only one kind of task or another. Then whatever tasks you do, whether it is the most basic task like a household chore, or it is a very meaningful task to you like performing a professional service, whatever might be the task, it becomes a meditation. And then duties that you have to perform, which you may not want to perform, even those duties do not become burdens for you. And the inner joy, the inner happiness helps you to stay afloat, helps you to stay in lightness, even as you are performing those duties. You are completely free of any bitterness, any resentment. In fact, time ceases to have a hold over you. No more do you fret about time. I have no time for this. My life is so filled with duties that I have to perform. I have no time for myself. All of these statements just fly out of the window. Miraculously, almost, you find the time. You, in fact, without knowing, you create the time for yourself, for your duties, for your services, for everything that you desire to do, wish to do, and need to do. And when your activities of the entire day are soul driven, are so meditation centric, from out of the depths of your being comes a most heartfelt, soul-felt thank you. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to serve. Thank you for the times of enjoyment and fun. Thank you for the tasks that I perform and grow through. Just thank you, thank you, thank you. Because eventually, what is a meditation? A meditation is a silent, soul-driven, focused activity on self-empowerment, self-enhancement, enhancement of consciousness, enhancement of awareness. Why should that kind of an activity be limited to only 45 minutes or an hour or even 2 hours of a day? The universe is so kind, and it gives us 24 hours in a day. If you are a meditator, you know how good you feel after those 45 minutes or an hour. Imagine how good you would feel if this was a 24-hour routine, daily routine. How much more at peace with yourself would you be? How much more at peace with the world would you be? What is the purpose of a meditation that makes you feel calm for a short while, but for the rest of the day you're fretting, you're fuming, you're irritable, you are angry, you're anxious? How has that meditation then helped you? Continue with the meditation. If that is helping you, please continue with those few minutes, with those 2 hours. But don't stop there. Take that into the rest of your day. Meditation does not have to be done with your eyes closed. As I am sitting here with you with my eyes open, I am meditating. I am one with you. I am one with my message. I am one with my inner being that's guiding me and telling me what to say next. I am one with the higher energies that are all around me, embracing me. And at the end of every such meditation, there comes that prayer. Thank you. So pray to the deity whom you love, who you feel such a drawing to. But Don't let your prayer be a constant asking, a constant seeking, a constant begging and pleading. The universe, that deity whom you pray to, that God whom you believe in, they know what you desire. But beyond that, they know what is best for your soul journey. Surrender. In strength, surrender. Very often people mistake the word surrender for defeat. When I am anxious, when I am confused, I surrender. I am not defeated by the situation. I surrender to my higher self. I surrender to the higher energies that my higher self is a part of. And my prayer is, in this situation, I am confused. I am anxious. I am filled with fear. I surrender to your guidance. And I thank you because I know that your guidance shall only be what is best for my soul journey. I thank you. When that is your life, a 24-hour meditation, a gratitude prayer, you will find that your life becomes enriched beyond words. The people you draw into your life will be those who will only empower you. The ones who disempower you, the ones who humiliate you, the ones who demean you, undervalue you, will effortlessly, easily leave your life. Their space will be taken by those who will appreciate you, who will honor you. And as those places are filled by these empowering people and empowering situations, your own sense of self-worth and self-honor shall deepen. There is none amongst us who does not fail and falter from time to time. But it is just as true that there is none amongst us who cannot attain the fullness of their potential if they strive towards it. And striving does not have to be laborious and a toil and a drudgery. To strive towards your divine potential and its unfoldment is in fact very simple. Through the day, remember, this moment has been given to you so that you fill it completely. Be mindful of that moment. Be mindful of yourself in that moment. Be mindful of others in that moment. Be mindful of your actions in that moment. And before you move from one moment to another, be mindful and say, pray, thank you. And thank you, dear friends. May your life proceed from empowered moment to empowered moment. All my love.